What's going on, world? Now, they say what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas. Wait, except for when these mobile devices came out. So a couple of weeks ago, me and my girl were on a rooftop at Inman Connect in none other than Vegas. And I'm glad to say that we were on our absolute best behavior, but we definitely talked about business and business growth. And we also talked about the almighty customer relationship management system, known to some of you as a CRM. So today I get to bring my girl. Actually, we're going to be hanging out again real soon,
Yes.
and none other than San Diego. And I had to get my pronunciation together. Eleni.
Eleni.
Eleni. I feel like I need to add something to it when I'm saying it.
I know. People are like, it's so exotic. I'm like,
it
well,
is exotic. Look, you see, we got the motion right. I wish everybody they gonna just hear this, but get into it. I need you to get into it. Yes, Sommerschield, right? I got that part together.
Yes.
Say it one more time because I want them to say it the right way.
Yes. So my name is Eleni Sommerschield.
Eleni. And I went to go watch your videos. And I said, I'm not getting that curl tongue correct. It's a little something on the beginning that I got to get in order, right?
Yeah.
Because you are important. You are the COO of Wise Agent, right? I'm just going to say congratulations. There are not a lot of female CEOs or COOs in our industry. So whenever I meet one, I am elated because I understand the hard work, the due diligence, but you're also with essentially technology, right? Which is also even more rare for women. So welcome today, because guess what? My real estate peeps, even though there are a lot of CRMs in the market, they're overwhelmed. They didn't know they needed a customer relationship management system. What is a customer relationship management system? And I happen to know that at Exit, you're now a premier partner.
We are.
Yes. And we have over 320 of those agents in the Chicagoland market. And Nick Liebert, my managing broker, is elated that this is going to be our number one go-to system.
Yes.
So I want to know, why do realtors need a customer relationship management system in the first place?
Well, that's like the number one question that I get asked all the time. And so my background is, like you mentioned, I am the COO of Wise Agent. I am in technology. So I always consider myself a unicorn because there's not many of us around. There's not many females in technology in the C-level, in real estate. And so my background is, I'm from Chicago as well. So I hold my degree in computer science from DePaul University. And really, I love organized data and I love relationships. That CRM, that R in the middle of CRM is the most important letter of those three because it stands for relationship. And in this real estate business that we're all in, relationships are the key to everything. That is the key to success. If you're not doing business with people that love you and trust you and turn to you for advice, then it's going to be an uphill battle. And so building that relationship is how you do it. So you're going to be going out and talking to people, and who can recall all the conversations that you're having? I mean, you just mentioned we were in Vegas and we're going to be in San Diego. When you're out and about and you're meeting people, you have to remember and recall things because it's those little tiny details that sometimes make such a huge difference in your business world. When you're going through a transaction with somebody and they're buying a house, 100,000, 200, I mean, just even 100,000, which where are you going to find that right now, right? $100,000, just spending hundreds of thousands of dollars with you. That is such a personal and such a huge amount of money that building that relationship will help in every way. And so I'm in all these Facebook groups and I hear people, oh, I just went through a deal with, and they bought a $500,000 house. I don't know what to get for a closing gift. I'm like, and you're asking me, a complete stranger? I don't know these people. You should know them. You should have built a relationship with them. Do they have a dog? Do they have kids? What's happening?
So what stood out to me is organized data. That's what it is, organized data. And you just pointed out something. you just did a transaction with them and you don't have any idea what the closing costs or closing gift should be. Now, let me just say this because you said that. There's a young gentleman. His name is Andy Burton from the Chicagoland area. Andy Burton sent me $100 gift card to Ravinia. He sent that because he heard on Facebook I had made a post that it's the place that I like to go with my husband over the course of the summer. He then also went and got me some custom luggage tags that has 9/25/2033. That is the date that I will be financially eligible for retirement. He sent me those luggage tags, right? And let me tell you what else he bought me. He went to Costco. He bought me the 3 boxes of lens wipes because he knows that I don't leave home without them. When I tell you it was the absolute most amazing gift that he sent me, because every last one of those things are important to me. And 2 of those things I don't think I conveyed to him face to face. He heard me say them leveraging social media and technology.
I mean, that's the power of relationships and relationship business. I mean, you know, when you get to know somebody and you're going through this transaction with them, it's just natural. That's just our nature, is to slip out little things, like little nuggets of what's happening in our life, right? So when I do my webinars, I host a webinar series and I talk about gardening. And I swear to you, I talk about it all the time. And I always mention, like, I am a gardener. I suck at it. But I'm not very good. It's probably because I travel too much and I'm not home to do it. So now I have to put it on my kids and my husband. But that's what I talk about, because that's what's passionate to me. And I love to cook and entertain, and I love to go out, and I love rooftop bars, and I love Ravinia too. So these are things that we just let those things slip out in just like kind of a by the way type of thing, you know, just as we're talking. And so when you're doing a transaction with somebody, if you're really listening, you should really be listening, and then go back, because I mean, it'd be weird for you to just like start taking notes while they're talking to you. But remember one little thing that they mentioned kind of like in passing, and just let that stick in your head. If you need to jot it down or text it to yourself or whatever, add it to your CRM. So then at the end of the transaction, we're like, wow, they were talking about how they love, you know, fine whiskeys and cigars or whatever. Well, buy them a humidor, buy them, you know, a nice bottle of whiskey, buy them, be thoughtful in that. Listen to what your people are saying to you, and then take action on that, because that's what ultimately, at the end of the day, they're going to say, wow, this was, and no matter how hard the transaction was, they're not going to remember that, because the last thing they got from you is this thoughtful gift. And it was, wow. And it was so thoughtful that it kind of negates everything that could have been. And, you know, sometimes they do go a little south and they go a little haywire and crazy, these transactions. So then you can just say, you know what, despite everything, thanks for hanging in there with me. I loved working with you. I heard you and I got you this that is meaningful and relates to you. That's the power of a CRM. And if that doesn't, like when you were saying what Adam was, you know, he got you these gifts, I literally got like the chills, because I'm like, I love hearing that. People are listening. Then it makes you feel so good that someone, like, they heard me. They heard what I like.
Everything, but even the luggage tags, just that visual reminder that this is the date that I plan to retire. So he does an extraordinary, like, he's gifted, right, in his ability to listen, because I've seen what he's practiced on me, practiced on other people, but he just does a good job. So we understand that we're going to organize our data, right? But let's say, for instance, one or two things. Either A, I might already have a CRM, but it really hasn't worked for me. Or B, I don't have anything at all. I'm going to make an assumption that a lot of real estate agents don't have a customer relationship management system, because the new numbers say that we are at 1,556,768. I had to go back and read the number because I quoted it a little lower earlier today, right? I was off by about 100 and some people. So we got a lot of newcomers to the industry.
Yeah, a lot.
And there's not as much supervision. Okay. So I just came into the business. I want to be successful. I've heard about a CRM, right? What is the first thing I need to do with what it is I get, whatever that is? I know when I came in, I had a black book, right? What's the first step?
Yeah, is getting
in this process.
Yeah. So the first step is getting all your data into the CRM. So a lot of people have used their Gmail as their CRM or Outlook or whatever. And those are really just address books. It is just like a little black book. It's a fancy Rolodex. It's a digital Rolodex. And I mean, if you boil it down, that's what a CRM is, but a CRM has other things in it that will help you build relationships, where the address book is just where you look up on your phone, like, what's Marquis' number, what's her email address, right? So your CRM should have a whole bunch of fields available for you to fill out and fill in. So then what's their spouse's name, what's their date of birth, what is their home sale anniversary? You just sold them a house, put that in there. I sold them this house, and maybe it's not their first house. Maybe they're investors. Maybe it's the second home. Maybe it's whatever. Put as much detail in there as possible. You shouldn't be limited to the amount of data that you put in there. Do they have pets? Do they have children? Get all of that information in there. And then the number one most important thing to do with that, once you have it in there, is segmenting your audience. That is something that is so necessary from day one, but is also something that you need to continue throughout your career, is segmenting your audience. Who are these people? What are their interests? What do they mean to you? Are they buyers? Are they sellers? Were they investors? So then when you're trying to figure out what your message is, the way I come up with emails is I think of like, who am I talking to first? And then I can come up with my message. I can't come up with my message without knowing who I'm saying it to. So think about it that way. And that then when you segment your audience, you can say, well, these are all my investors. So I'm going to talk to them they're numbers people, right? They want to know what's their ROI, what's this. But, these are my first time home buyers, that I've gotten in as I've met them through whatever, this organization or through these friends or this group. Well, you're going to talk to them a little bit different because you don't want to overwhelm them with ROI and everything else. You want to say, hey, I'm going to take it slow. I'm going to introduce you to loan officers. I'm going to, walk you through and guide you through the whole entire step of the way of a transaction, because that's what they're going to need, as opposed to somebody else that's an investor that does this all day long. And their needs are different. So you have to know their needs.
So we take everybody, we segment it, and we could definitely have tenants who will hopefully become buyers, sellers, landlords, because all that language is different, right?
Yeah.
And then we could also people who love pets, right? They could have their own little segment,
and
because
and they can be. It's like a Venn diagram. They can intersect.
Wait, say it again. It's like a what? Venn diagram?
Venn diagram. I have teenagers, so I go, this is my third year of 8th grade or fourth time taking 8th grade. So Venn diagram. So they're overlapping. So you can say these are my new home buyers that have pets, and or these are my tenants that have pets, and these are my tenants that don't have pets. And these are, and group them and put as much information as you can. That organized data, it's that data part, knowing who you're talking to. So then you could really pull at their heartstrings, but just not pull at their heartstrings, but talk to them. So, and I've heard you speak. I know that when you're speaking, even on social, it's just one-on-one. So your emails should sound like you're just talking to that one specific person and not just like this general, audience. That you're on stage.
So sometimes in the Chicagoland area, I'll do face-to-face events. Inside of the customer relationship management system, I have Chicago agents only, because there's no need in me sending out, meet me at the office, right? When they're in Texas, the likelihood is they'll call me when they're in Chicago and say, are you having anything first of all, are you at home this week? And are you having anything special in Chicago? And so even though there's agents in there, I have a Chicago agent segment just for if I want to do a face-to-face event in my office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I love going deep. Now, let me say this. I went over to a couple of things. I went over to a blog post, and here's the reason I'm bringing this up. I just interviewed a young gentleman. He has Driving for Dollar Mastery, and he talked about having a different tools. And what you have is a power dialer. Like he talked about a triple dialer, right? And I'm like, whoa, that's a lot going on. But you even have for that investor, or I'm going to say this. I just talked about Chicago specific. Here in the state of Illinois, another specific, that a person cannot wholesale more than one property in a 12-month period of time. Well, your customer relationship management system has a power dialer that one can add. What is a power dialer for people who might not know?
Yeah. So a dialer it's built into the CRM. So when you have all your contacts, right? You should have as much data in there. Their phone number should be a minimum, right? And an email address. Those are like first, last name, phone number, and mobile. Those are minimum requirements, typically. And so when you have a list of contacts that you want to go through, and a lot of people, I've heard it called dialing for dollars. You want to go out there and you're prospecting, and to pick up your phone, I still have a desk phone, pick up your phone, dial out the number by hand, and then wait and listen to the ring, and then hopefully they answer. That's a lot of time. And when you have goals that you want to meet, financial goals that you want to meet, you should always break it down. I always break it down from top bottom. So this is my financial goal. In order for me to get here, I need to do these 10 steps. One of them is I need to make 50 calls a day. 50 calls a day, especially for me at Chatterbox, that's a right. We're both Chatterbox. That's a lot of time spent on them. I would never be able to do that. But you want to waste as little time as possible in between calls. So what the power dialer will do, especially the three line dialer, is it will call all three numbers. So you'll select a whole group of people, and it will call three numbers at a time. And the first person to answer comes to it drops in on your ear. And then the other two will get a pre-recorded message that you've already recorded that they'll hear saying like, hey, I'm calling about, whatever reason that you're calling them for. Right. Either promoting an open house or, just prospecting. It depends. I know in New York State, you can't do any cold calling. You guys are still under a state of emergency in New York. So you can't do that. So you want to make sure that in your state that you're in your jurisdiction, that you're following all the rules with that. But the cold calling, what it does is it takes away that the time that it takes to pick up the phone and dial. And then you have that three-way calling or that 3-dial call. So it just two other people will get a voicemail and then they can call you back.
Excellent. So that's built inside of the customer relationship management system. And one thing that I like, because I'm inside of your customer relationship management system as a customer, was that this morning, right, I received a text message, and people are more likely to open text message now than they are email. And it is from none other than Rachel, right? And she's like, hey, Marky, it's Rachel at Wise Agent. Have you completed one of our training classes, right? And so the ability to bring in text messaging also into the customer relationship management system is big, because so many people now are living inside of their text.
Yeah, they are. I mean, it has a 99% open rate. There's a 57% response rate to text messages. And so, we run our business off of our Wise Agent. So we use our own CRM to run our business here. And even though we're not selling houses, we're selling software. It's, you can kind of take the same model. And so take a cue from what we're doing. I do what I preach, right? So I practice what I preach. And so the texting is a huge thing because it's quick and easy. I mean, I know when I do text messages, sometimes I just am like, it's 7 a.m. and I'm texting my girlfriends and I'm like, are you able to pick up my kids for me? And it's like, shoot, now I got to go back and then I send and I'm like, oh, by the way, good morning. So sometimes in text messages, because, some of those pleasantries are, it's already an established relationship. So I don't need to go and say good morning. I usually do afterwards, but so it's a little bit more lax. And that's kind of nice because then it doesn't feel so threatening, like, oh, now I have to, really think it through and say, good morning, how are you, commas, next line, and all these things, where it's a lot easier to communicate with text. And so because of that, there's a huge open rate and a really good response rate.
So we taken our data, we can organize it, then we want to segment it. I just threw in triple dialer, which to me is even next level, right? But you got next level already built into the system. We know that people are loving text and that the response rate is substantially higher. So you even have a text built into this. But then you also have drip campaigns.
Yes. Yeah, because email's not dead. Email's not dead, despite what some people are thinking out there, like, oh, I don't want to email my people. Listen, do you check your emails every day? Hopefully you guys are, right? And so their email still works. And within Wise Agent's platform, you can send out 2,500 emails per day, which works out to like 75,000 emails a month. That's a huge amount of emails that can go out, which if you were to do that in Constant Contact or MailChimp, who are also partners of ours and great companies that just do email sending, that's going to cost you hundreds of dollars a month just from that. And so what you can do is do the drip campaigns or the one-off emails that will allow you, or the bulk emails. But the drips are nice because those are scheduled. So I know I met you today, and in 3 days, I want to send you an email just saying like, hey, I just want to, fill you in on what I've been doing. I've been, down this new path. I just got my license as a realtor, and I want to tell you what I'm doing, to help you and people like you. And if you know anybody that's looking to buy or sell, please give them my information. And I'll record, we should have, as realtors, we should have a library of content, right?
And video, yes.
Video, emails, everything. Plug in your YouTube video introducing yourself as a realtor and saying what you bring to the table. Stick that into your, plug that into your email and send that out to your database. And I know I get this question, the second most popular question I get is, who do I put in my database? Like, who are these people? I don't know anybody. And it's like, you don't know anybody? Are you sure you don't know anybody? I think you know people. Like,
first of all, I'm going to say in even the state with the least amount of restrictions, you have to be 18 years old, right? So that means I'm going back to summer vacation Bible school, grammar school, and high school at a minimum. Then I'm going to go look at a Facebook. I'm going to look at an Instagram. I am going to, I'm going to ask my mother's friends, right? Let's just say I was 18 years old. So everybody knows somebody. But now I got a question.
Yeah.
Because you have the text, do you have a landing page that people can come and give you? Tell them, honey, wait a minute, because you just solved a question I had anyway. So now, with the text messaging, is there a landing page that people can come and give you their information on?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because we all have, you meet somebody and you're like, oh, I'll text you my name. And then you text me back, hi. And now I know, or your name. And now I know who you are. And then you never add them as a contact in your phone. So you just have all these random text messages with first names in there. And you're like, I wonder where I met them. Oh, that was the night I was at this, rooftop party. Okay, now it's coming back to me. And you're like, shoot, how am I going to get all of their information in here? I want to know what their email address is. Well, what you can do is you can take that list and you can import them. You can, hopefully you know how to kind of store where your contacts are stored on your phone, which that's like an hour topic right there. But our support staff can help you with that if you don't know how to do that. So then you get your list of just random names, first names maybe, and just a mobile number. And you can create a landing page within Wise Agent saying, I'm updating my address book. And you can put like a cool address book picture and a little GIF or whatever you want to put in there. And then have form fields, first and last name, email address, mobile number. And then if you want to have, we have one of our templates is getting to know you, just because, like we said, relationship building, right? How am I going to know that you love Ravinia? How do I know that you have a certain date of when you're going to be financially set to retire? And so put information, ask questions like, what's your favorite beverage? What's your favorite restaurant? Your favorite flower? Whatever it is that you want to know about them. And usually it's going to be like non-threatening. Don't ask for like, what's the last word of your security number? Like, don't do anything like that. But ask them, fun questions. What's your favorite movie? And send that off in a text, and they'll get the link. They open it up and it's like, oh, she's just updating her contact info. Yeah. Okay. And then that's your double opt-in. So then for those states that have some of those restrictions on that, which are pretty much all of them right now, they've opted into getting your emails.
And you want that opt-in. You do not go and buy email list. I'm going to tell you again, you want people to opt in, and they're giving you the opportunity to give you that tool inside of the system. Yeah. And I see that you also, because when people are asking me about a customer relationship management system, I want to know about, what does that app look like? How does it have the ability to communicate with all these third-party tools? Because let's say, for instance, we might use a third-party tool, if this, then that, or just something simple, right? Google. If I'm using the Google spreadsheet or Google Forms, right? If I collect data, is there a way for that information to transmit from this one platform over to your platform? Yeah. And so do you know, and let me say this, it might be unlimited, the amount of third-party tools that you integrate with to pull information into your CRM?
So we have an endless supply of third-party integrations. So there you go. That's one of my specialties. That's what I work on a lot, is the third-party integrations. I love all of our partners. So we have currently, I think our number is at like 127 integrated partners. So you name it, like Google, Facebook, Twitter, all of those. We have an integration with all of them. So if you put in your Twitter handle into the CRM under your contact information, I can see all your last 3 tweets. I can retweet them. I can tweet back to you. I can reply to you. I can see social media enhancements. So I can, with your email address, I can, and not just with yours, Marquis, but any one of your people in your database, you want to enhance them using that social media, because then what that does is it gives you an insight as to who this person is. You get the social profile of them. And one of the ones that I love is when leads have a Pinterest board, if they're on Pinterest, because if they're shopping for a new house, you can almost guarantee that they're going to have a Pinterest board that's dream home. And they're going to have pictures of everything. I want my kitchen to be white kitchen cabinets, Carrara marble, stainless steel this and chrome that or whatever. And so when you take them to a property and it doesn't have that, you already have that knowledge as a kind of insider, because you've looked at their social profile, where then you can build that dream for them and come prepared saying, listen, I know this house doesn't have your dream kitchen, but for X, I've done some research, and do your homework, right? Don't just pull these numbers out of your hat. I've done the homework. And if you were to put in X amount of dollars, then you can have this dream kitchen. It will bring in this much to your value. It'll increase the value of this property for you as well for resale. And then you bring that information to them. And now they're like, wow, she knows everything. Like, she has the answers, and you're not just fumbling around with things.
So I'm looking at some articles that you all have, right? Well, first of all, the fact that you integrate with 127 different platforms, because instantly I'm thinking MailChimp, I'm definitely thinking Google, but then I'm thinking if I needed to expand it, I could use if this, then that, or Zapier. Some people call it Zapier, whichever way you want. But then I'm also thinking, as a licensed managing broker who recruits, right? How to recruit top producing agents through your CRM. Excellent subject, right? What to know before a rental property showing, okay? Some of these other zip forms and things of that nature that are integrating directly inside. Oh, easy lead magnets in Wise Agent? Wait,
yes.
Help me with that one, please.
Okay, so the lead magnets, this one is one of my favorite ones, and our marketing team has done a fabulous job of this. And so what we've done is we have landing pages that have the whole entire template built out. So a lead magnet, for anyone that's listening that doesn't know what this means, is there is something, you would post something on Facebook or on Twitter or any social media platform, right? We would give you a link for a landing page, and it's going to say, like one of ours is like, 5 mistakes to avoid when selling your house, right? Your property. And so some of those negative ones are really good because people are like, oh, I'm selling my house. I don't want it. What are these 5 things that I need to know? I'm about to sell. And so what they'll do is they are compelled, based on whatever it is your topic is, to click on that link and then read what you have in there. And you'll have a download and say, to get these 5 tips, put your contact information here and I will send you the download, right? I'll send you the document of whatever these tips are. And so then they fill out, because that's what you want as a realtor. You want that data. You want the first name, last name, email address, and mobile number. And so then they give you their contact information. In exchange, you give them the 5 tips. And so then we have those 5 tips already for you that have already been done. Of course, you can create your own if you want to. And then you use our lead management system. And as soon as they click, so it's all done sequentially and automatically. And you could be out living your best life ever. And you post this one time on social on, homes for sale in Chicago. And then they go out there and they see this, 5 tips to avoid. I click on that link. It takes me to the landing page. I fill out my information. And then Wise Agent will automatically send me that list of 5 tips to avoid.
Is there also a drip or nurturing campaign behind the 5 tips?
Yes, because then after that, then you want to add them to, you could use one that we've created, or you can create your own for sellers and saying, so this is, as a seller, this is, as a seller's agent, this is what I would provide to you, right? And so you keep dripping them on that. And it does take at least 8 conversations, 8 drips or touches to convert that lead. Not necessarily, they're not going to buy after 8 or sell after 8. But what they do is it will take 8 conversations to at least start talking to you and building that relationship. So you want to add as many touches as possible to that.
So what I'm seeing as a class that I need to teach for our agents, because 320 and growing, right?
Yeah.
Is that I need to teach them how to do a Facebook live video, right?
Yeah.
To a lead magnet, putting the link from the Wise Agent landing page onto Facebook, and doing a call to action so that they could capture those leads that will automatically deliver that item of value. Right. We then make sure we have them tagged correctly or segmented where they're going to get this drip campaign. But then I get the opportunity to now take that same video, repurpose it, and use that same link. Whether I was going to bring that video over to an Instagram, a LinkedIn, a YouTube, I can now take that video, especially that hyper local video, and share it. So to me, right there, right, is just an added benefit, but it's a lead generation benefit. And people have seen me in video, so they've already decided if they like me.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, that sounds just absolutely delicious.
And the other thing too that I love about these lead magnets that we have is that it's a precursor to paid advertisement on social, because there is a lot of skin in the game with that. It can be very costly. And it could cost you a lot of money and you not get the results that you want unless you're doing it right. So this way, using the lead magnets with the landing page that you post, because it's just a post, we don't encourage you to boost it. You don't have to boost it. You post it either on your business page, your personal page, or in a group that you belong to. And it doesn't cost you anything except for maybe 5 minutes of time. And really it's so powerful. And then when you see the success rate that you have in there, because you have to perfect your systems, you have to perfect what your language is going to be and what you're saying, what you're speaking about. But that shouldn't take you much time to build on that. Then you can go to that next step of paid lead ads, and those still come in through Wise Agent. We have that direct integration with Facebook where all of your leads that are filling out those forms from Facebook, they'll come in and again, use the lead management, that automation to segment them, to respond to them, to add them to a drip campaign, and even notify yourself and all sorts of things that you can do.
Wow. So I'm blown away because it's more than a customer relationship management system, right? It's a lead generation system as well. It's a text, and I don't think that people think of all these different components, the email marketing, the texting, before, during, after a buy, right? Whether it was for an investor or whether it was just for that person. This is a single family home. They don't even look or desire to be an investor. So how does one try Wise Agent?
Yeah. So if you just go to wiseagent.com and you can click on the sign up now, and you get 14-day free trial. You'll also get a 20-minute getting started session free with someone from our team here that will help you get your contacts in, get your profile built, your email branding built out, because brand is a big thing too. And then also you'll get they'll also help you get all of your online leads coming into the system automatically. So if you're buying leads from an online portal like Zillow or Realtor.com or whatever, they'll help you set that up so they start coming in automatically. Those leads are really expensive and you don't want them going without being responded to. You need a system to respond to them. And so if you're just waiting for the notification to come through in your email and then, I'll email them later on tonight, you probably lost them, because speed to lead is important.
That's a lot of money. So you want to be on that all the time. And I like the fact that you're able to pull those into the customer relationship management system, plus any of these other tools that an agent would use. But let me say this. I've also heard that your customer service is fabulous. And so you definitely get this call with someone who's going to help to onboard you, someone that you can reach out to get your questions answered. And it's a human, right? It's a true human being that is going to help you navigate this to get everything set up. Yeah. So one, I want to just simply say thank you for being here, right? Two, for just, I guess, a renewal, right, of the true value of a customer relationship management system, only because it's come, such a long way in a very short period of time. And once again, you can go to wiseagent.com where you can sign up for a 14-day trial. Plus, you can also have a onboarding call, because now is that time of year for you to take action. Now is the time of year. We should always be in business development mode. But when we have, we just did fall back, right? So now that we're going to be at home a little more, we're going to get home a little earlier. Now is the time to put that 1 to 3 hours per day on your calendar to get your CRM set up for success in 2022, because it is one of those tools that is worth it to have it. This is not what you're going to penny pinch on, okay? This is something that you're going to invest in, because it will help you to build a sustainable real estate business. I want to thank you for being here with us today, and make sure that you go over to wiseagent.com and try out that 14-day trial. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thanks so much.